Hey now, if you've seen the charcuterie playlist on the channel, you know I'm a big fan of taking pork loin, a cheap, inexpensive, easy to acquire cut, and turning it into absolutely fantastic charcuterie. That's what I'm doing today. Another thing I love is Portuguese food, particularly Piri Piri sauce. I'm gonna combine those two together and make a Piri Piri pork loin charcuterie awesome thing. I don't know what I'll call it, but that's what we're doing. So come along for the ride. Now, so for the cure here, we're going with an equilibrium cure. So we weighed out the meat. For starters, we got 2.541 kilograms, and then we're going with percentages of that weight for the rest of the ingredients here. So just taking whatever your weight might be for a pork loin and multiplying it by this. So we have 0.25% of cure number 2, or Instacure 2, or Prague powder 2, or any sodium nitrate based cure. And that's going to go into my Piri Piri sauce here. I'm just gonna dump it in. Now, the Piri Piri sauce that we're going with is this Massarico Piri Piri sauce. We have it's a sizable jar of it. I buy this stuff when I'm in Portugal, but you can also get this. I think you got this on Amazon or somewhere. Where did you get this?
I believe it was Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
We actually managed to source this as well, just because I didn't have enough of it. So there we go. We've got that. And then we also have some salt. So I'm going with 2% of kosher salt. You want a non-iodized salt in here. And that's really all that we need. I'm just going to give it a little whisk here, just to mix it up a little bit. I know that salt isn't going to get completely absorbed by the time I'm done this, but that doesn't matter. At least it's sort of evenly distributed in all of this. Oh man, this smells good. Delicious sauce. So normally I like to use my meat lug and get my pork loin in there and pour my rub all over it, but we've got a sauce, not a rub. So we're gonna do that directly in the bag. So let's try to make that happen. All right, so we've got our pork loin, and I just want to show this off here. We've got actually a nice fatty pork loin here, lots of fat cap on that coming around. It's kind of got that like little ribbon fat running right through the whole thing there, which is great. When I think of Portuguese sausage or chorizo, stuff like that, it's always got a lot of fat, sometimes even just big, huge cubes of fat in it. So I think it's gonna be nice. Plus this might be a little bit spicy, so why not get a fattier pork loin? So now we're just gonna take this sauce. I'm gonna do my best to spill it everywhere. Now the fun part,
Good luck.
I'm not going to shake it as vigorously as I might normally. We'll see here. Yeah, trying to get a little bit down around there. Okay. I'm pretty sure we've got a base coating all the way around. Now the oh so dangerous move of vacuum sealing this without a chamber sealer. We're laughing here because I've never noticed that there's a speed setting on my food saver. We're going to try this on gentle. We're going to go gentle with the meat today. I also have it on the moist setting. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare, I think. We're not going to get like a full vacuum on this for sure. I'm just going to do my best to sort of eliminate a little bit of the airspace in here and have a nice seal on it. Fingers crossed. I think I was about a half second away from having Piri Piri sauce everywhere inside this machine. Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write down what this product is, the weight, and the date that we're starting this. This is going to get about 4 weeks in the fridge curing, which is more time than this needs for that cure to actually penetrate the meat, but it's going to give lots of time for the sauce to get in there and just penetrate the meat as much as possible, get a lot of that flavor in there. I'm being very aggressive with this pork loin right now. I'm excited. I'm also going to go...
Well, you started gentle.
Go ahead. Yeah, started gentle. Now we're getting rough. I'm going to be massaging it probably every day, just sort of tossing it around while it's in the fridge, giving it a little squeeze, something kind of like that. And yeah, fingers crossed. After 1 month, I'm hoping it's absorbed a lot of delicious flavor. It'll definitely be cured by this point. So it's time to cut into this bag, get it out. And I'm now going to take this to the sink and we're going to get as much of this rinsed off as possible. Just going to rinse off, get off that cure and any excess seasoning here prior to the next step. I've got it patted dry, and now we're going to get this out to the smoker, because when I think of Piri Piri meat, I think of nice fire grilled, somewhat smoky meat. So let's get a little bit of that character into this Piri Piri charcuterie. Okay, I've got this Piri Piri loin. all dried off and ready. I'm going to load it up into the brick smokehouse here up on the top shelf, and I'm going to get the pellet tube smoker fired up. So I'm just going to use my grill torch here to fire up the pellets. Absolutely love this thing. I picked this up several years ago and it works like a charm on charcoal, on pellets, just even starting campfires. Love it. Now that we've got that all fired up here, that Piri Piri is going to take on some nice smoke over the next 6 hours or so. Now that that cold smoke is all cleared out of here, we're going to pop this into the fridge and let it off gas. All right, after off-gassing overnight, we've got this Piri Piri loin here. You can see it's got some of those smoker rack marks on it. Now, rather than just popping this into the casing, we're going to take some of this, it's just ground Piri Piri peppers, which is nice, it's fine, it's spicy, and it's a lot better than me taking some of our dried whole Piri Piri peppers and grinding them up and then basically dyeing. So I think by giving this little dusting on here, we're just going to add a little bit to the heat of this. Hopefully, at least it'll be, you know, the tiniest bit of crust as I try to send this cascading off. Yeah, it'll be fun. Anyway, let's get a little sprinkle. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Yeah?
Look at that.
Look at that. Beautiful little coating on there. Oh, I think we missed a spot. Fantastic. All right, let us prep a pasted hogskin for that. Okay, so we've got this out here. We're just going to get this to spritz down with a little vinegar just to help create a bit of a blank slate mold-wise and help prevent any sort of growth underneath this pasted hogskin. Of course, you can also use collagen casing. I've used that before. I really like that as well. This is just what I happened to have on hand today. Get that on here, and we're just going to give this a little wrap. Ooh, yes, yes. Now I'm going to be using some hog rings. I've got 3/8 hog rings. I've got those and 1/2 inchers because this is a little bit smaller on just with the pasted hogskin. We'll go with the 3/8. So vinegary. Now the only reason that we're really doing this here with the hog rings on this casing is that when we go to put this into the netting, which is the best part of the operation, this shouldn't slide around too much, and it'll kind of maintain a bit of that full seal around it.
You've gotten a bit better at this over the years.
A little bit. All right, so I've got this side here. Just close our eyes and hope for the best. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, now hog rings on those sides. This is a little bit more important because it has to hold the weight of the meat as it's hanging vertically. Again, always fun with the wet vinegary gloves here. Vinegary. And
voila.
There we are. Delightful. Now, last part is just using a sausage pricker here. And we're going to poke some holes, a lot of them, just to help make sure that we don't wind up with air pockets underneath. We'll allow air to escape as this compresses, as it shrinks during the dry aging process. You can just kind of squeeze some of that out. And the netting, of course, because it's elastic, will help do the same. So now we're going to get a quick initial weight here. So here we are after weighing it out and calculating on this tag here. I've got the product and the date, and then we have our 2 weights. So our original and then our target with a 35% weight loss. So it's ready to hit the chamber. All right, in the chamber, we've got this Piri Piri loin. It is hanging. I've got the chamber set at 52 degrees Fahrenheit and right around 73% relative humidity. After a month and a half, this Piri Piri charcuterie has hit its 35% weight loss, so it is time to pull it out. Now, I love this part of the process because it is so quick and simple. I'm just going to use a pair of scissors to cut off, in case you didn't know what those were, to cut off that netting. I'm going to leave the actual casing on here. It does not matter. It is totally fine to leave on there during this part of the process. And I'm going to vacuum seal this here. And by vacuum sealing this, it's going to allow the meat to equalize. So if it's a little drier on the exterior and a little moister on the inside still, that's going to balance out. We're just going to take this, get it refrigerated, and engage in a little patience.
Ooh, it's been a month. And this Piri Piri charcuterie should have equalized. So let's slice into it. Okay, here we are. Slicing in. We'll pull this out. So I still have the casing on this, that pasted hog skin. Let's cut this off. Ooh, a little moist in there. Delightful. Look at that. Very nice. Let's cut this in half to get a good look at it. Oh, beautiful. Woo! All right, let's slice this up here. I'm gonna do that using my awesome Avantco slicer. Going super thin on this here. Super thin, super thin. All right, let's do this. Oh, that's just melt in your mouth charcuterie right there. Super delightful. It has really taken on the character of that Piri Piri sauce that I used. You need to have another bite here. What I'm probably most happy with is having estimated that salinity properly, dropping the usual amount of salt I added here to accommodate for the salt that was in that sauce. Absolutely stellar. The Piri Piri powder that went on it, it's got a nice little kick to it, along with that sauce that was on there initially. Just all those flavors. It's just a little bite of Portugal. Super fantastic. So if you can get your hands on some good Piri Piri sauce, you can make it, give it a whirl. You will not be disappointed. So keep it at 11.